welcome to Welfare. I hope you'll enjoy this episode. Now I found the last lonely stalk of lemongrass in the bottom of my fridge, so I want to show you how I prepare it. Firstly, just rip off the dead leaf or the outside leaf, and then with a chopper or a heavy base knife, give it a good bruising all the way down the stem of the lemongrass. Now this is still in quite good nick, it's quite aromatic. And I'm going to just take the base off it, with the root of it, and discard that. And then rather than chopping up the lemongrass, I just want to twist it to release the essential oil. And if it was long enough, I could tie it into a knot. Well, I kind of can there. And I want to add that, it's going to fall apart. But rather than slicing it, dicing it, throwing it in the food processor where it becomes really grainy, I just want to have it in that whole piece because we can draw it out later and just cook it off with my aromatics. And then I'm going to sear the fish and throw it in and just add some local yellow curry mix from Zest. But of course you can make your own yellow curry, but let's face it, everybody just wants a little bit of home cooking, nice and fast. So while those aromatics are just sizzling away, nice low heat, they don't need too much heat, but I'll just leave them on. I picked up some shark from the Bay Seafood Market here in Byron Bay, and I'm just going to cut it down the seam, either side, and I'm just still using the chopper, no need to get too fancy and change knives or anything. And because shark is a beautiful white meaty flesh fish, it's going to lend itself beautifully to the coconut base that I'm going to give to this, and of course that spice. So I'm just going to slice it down into little pieces and just let it cook off. Oops. Get a little bit of colour on it. And then it can just cook down as it wants to. Now you can be as delicate or as clunky as you want. This is not about fine dining. It's about getting you to cook, do something different, find something that will go well with your budget. So shark is quite a well-priced fish, beautiful flavour, nice and meaty, and you better eat the shark before the sharks eat you. That's always been my motto. Righto, I've seared the fish a little bit. I don't want to overcook it, I just want to get a little bit of colour on it, bring out that flavour. So I'm just sauteing that, cooking that. Just don't overdo it. There's a little bit that can flip over. And then I've got a pre-made yellow curry. Now you can find any kind of yellow curry mix. There's probably lots of recipes out there. You'll even find one on my website if you want it. But lots of turmeric, all those lovely aromatics, so good for your sinuses, so great for supporting a digestive function. Coughs, colds and itchy holes, as we like to say in the trade. And let's give that a little bit of a squeeze out. I found some curry leaves in my fridge. It's amazing what you find in your fridge, isn't it? And I'm going to use them right up now. They can just sit there, stow straight in. We can pull them out when we pull out the lemongrass. Got some coconut cream. You can just use coconut milk. You might like to add a little bit of vegetable stock or fish stock right about now. But I think we've got plenty. So just bringing that up to the heat, just incorporate that curry mix that you've used. So nice and delicate, unlike a meat curry, a chicken curry or a rendang, anything like that that needs a little bit more intense heating. It's just gentle yellow curry, fish curry. Doesn't need too much. You just want to bring out those flavours, and of course you want to cook the fish through. Lots of ginger was in there as well earlier with the aromatics, and just lots of garlic because I've got heaps left. So we get a little bit of that simmer on, just to boost that colour and get a little bit of antioxidant going on, a little bit more. So we all know about turmeric, that powerful component is curcumin. Very, very supportive within that antioxidant activity. Just scrape off a little bit, the rest can go in your tea. You'll find a lovely recipe on my website, foodhealthwealth.com, for a turmeric tonic, using all of that excess turmeric. Don't put it on your white t-shirt or your white chef's uniform, because it'll go yellow or orange. Righto, now for the rice. I've got jasmine rice, I've got a cup, I've got about a cup and a half of boiling water. Doesn't matter which way you want to do that, but straight in, give it a bit of a whirl. You can either put the water and the rice in together, bring it to the boil. Everyone has a different idea. The trick I'm going to show you in a moment once it's cooked will change your rice cooking life forever. Everybody tells me they can't cook fish, they can't cook rice, so stay tuned. Righto, our rice is nearly done. We don't want it to stick, obviously. So the heat's off. We're going to pop a tea towel directly onto that saucepan. We're going to pop a fitted lid. Now, if you haven't got a lid that fits, pop a stainless steel bowl, anything, even a plate. Just be careful when you take the plate off and just let that rest off the heat. You can push it away so there's no heat underneath and let it rest, and the steam, the residual steam, will continue to cook and soften your rice and keep it warm. It'll work for you every time, guaranteed. Righto, so we can check on the rice. The rice paddle. Give it a little bit of a shimmy. A little bit longer to go. It's a bit al dente. We can do two things here. We can pop the lid back on, as in the cloth and the actual lid, or I've got a little bit of coconut cream kicking around from the curry. While the rice is still warm, you can have a beautiful coconut rice to go with that yellow shark curry. At this stage too, I like to season it, so just a little bit of salt. Doesn't need too much flavour because we've got a rich, aromatic, meaty curry, so a pinch of smoked salt or any salt of your choice. Let it sit for another couple of minutes. Good to go. So the coconut rice is done. Taking that off the heat. Give it its own little delicious bowl. I've got some pig face here, just for a little garnish. So that's a local succulent. And then of course here is a gorgeous shark curry. And you can see the lemongrass and the curry leaves, they can just be discarded as we need to. I've got some watercress, so important that you keep up your greens. Watercress is probably the most powerful green you can be having. You can forget the kale, you can forget your lettuces. Well, don't forget the lettuces. The kale will get jealous. But get that watercress into you. This beautiful local beach succulent. It's also called beach banana, and it's very cooling. It's a little like aloe vera. So if I was to burn my hand, burn my finger, a little bit on this, and what that does for the digestive tract is help to cool down the digestion, particularly during this really stressful time when our digestion's already in knots for many of us. Maybe that's irritable bowel, maybe that's just worrying about when the next paycheck's coming in, or for some of us, what are you going to eat next? So I hope you'll enjoy that. I've tried to use as much of our local Byron Bay produce as I can. Ego chopping boards, some beautiful shark just picked up, not the whole shark, from Bay Seafood, and I've used a zest yellow curry paste and some gorgeous local rice. Enjoy. So I know you want to know more about the beach banana, also called pig face, indigenous food as medicine for many, many, many centuries, if not eons. And you're going to wonder where it's from. It's from Pocket Herbs and Products. They kind of gave me a whole plethora, a bounty of lovely produce to work with. So expect lots more medicinal food as medicine recipes celebrating the local produce of Byron Bay and the Northern Rivers. I hope you'll join me for another episode of Welfare. In the meantime, look after yourself. Take care.